Well, our next guest has traveled over 2 million miles and dined out in 35 countries. Well, that's especially amazing when you consider that she has severe food allergies. Take a look. Kim Koeller learned to live with her allergies to seafood as a young girl. Then as an adult, Kim was diagnosed with celiac disease, an autoimmune disease where a person can't eat wheat, barley, and rye. Kim has researched her condition for the past 7 years and found out that celiac disease can only be controlled by a special diet. In her book, Let's Eat Out, Kim gives her personal insight in managing an allergy-free diet and how to eat out safely. So please welcome to the 700 Club, Kim Koeller. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's great to be here.
I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
I tell you what, food allergies are becoming more and more prevalent in our society.
Absolutely.
These days. You discovered it at a young age. What are some of the symptoms that you had that said, you know, obviously food isn't working for me?
Well, when I was young and I found out that I was allergic to shrimp, I actually would get, unfortunately, sick from it. So anytime that I would have even a tiny bit of it, then it just didn't stay in my body. So.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's a good question because my son asked me this the other day and he goes, Mommy, am I allergic to anything? And he said, how do you know that you're allergic to something?
It's really based upon the symptoms, and unfortunately, the symptoms really vary. It could be gastrointestinal, it could be skin, it could be joint. So it's really best to have it checked out with medical professional.
Okay, what are some of the 3 most common food allergies that are out there?
Well, actually, there's 8 food groups that actually account for 90% of allergies out there.
Which are?
So they're dairy, eggs, soy, wheat, peanuts, tree nuts, fish, and shellfish.
Which ones are you allergic to?
I'm allergic to fish, shellfish, gluten, and dairy.
Oh, my Lord. Okay, so as the intro said, you've traveled all around the world,
right.
all around the world, all around the country. And inevitably, when you travel that much, you can't take your lunchbox everywhere with you, so you're eating out a lot. So how do you eat out and eat food? Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, at first it was very difficult, I have to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, when I was first diagnosed, I'm like, okay, what is gluten? What is wheat?
Yeah.
I don't even know what questions to ask.
Sure.
And so when I would eat out, I would say, okay, I want a plain chicken with plain baked potato with steamed broccoli, and it got really boring. And but it was really more a matter of getting to know ingredients, food preparation, what questions to ask restaurants in their language, as well as what modifications can be made to food.
Good. Well, let's show them. Let's show the audience. Let's take, what is this, dairy issues right now?
Yeah, dairy-free.
Let's talk about the fries. I'm looking at fries, and I don't think of fries and dairy in the same.
Absolutely. Most people wouldn't. I never did before either.
Yeah.
So one of the questions as far as for fries, if you ask the waiter, you know, are my French fries milk-free? They say, well, of course they're milk-free. But if you ask the waiter, are your French fries fried in the same fryer as cheese sticks? There's cross-contamination. Or are your French fries fried in the same fryer as breaded items such as chicken fingers that contain milk? So that's where the cross-contamination comes in on that one.
Now, what's the difference between someone like me? I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't drink milk, but at the same time, butter doesn't hurt me.
Well, you're probably lactose intolerant, which means that you can't digest, you don't have the enzyme that can actually break down the lactose.
Gotcha.
Whereas I myself, I'm allergic to casein, which is the milk protein.
Oh, and so would the milk protein be found in the cheese sticks, which would be fried in the same oil as the French fries?
Then then you're much more sensitive to it as well.
So you would have a reaction to those French fries?
Yes.
Oh, poor thing. Okay. Green beans. I don't think of dairy and green beans either.
Green beans, it's really more in food preparation. Are your green beans sautéed in butter, or can you saute your green beans in oil, or can you steam the green beans? So it's a matter of how they're prepared rather than, as well as if they put butter on top of them.
Because if there's butter on it, that would be damaging to you.
Exactly. And then I would be sick for a couple days.
Gotcha. Okay, real quick, the chocolate chip before we move over here.
Oh, as far as for the chocolate chip, you know, are the chocolate chip cookies made with butter, or are they made with chocolate chips that contain milk?
Oh, I feel bad for you.
Well, you know, but once you know the questions asked, then you can really feel safe. So it's really all about asking the right questions and then understanding what those answers might be. So
good answer. Okay, fried chicken. Now we dealt with dairy. What are some of the issues here?
Well,
oh, they want me to go to the steak. Sorry. Let's go to the steak first.
Okay, well, steak real quick.
Yeah.
It's really a matter of, is it finished off with butter? And if it is, can I have steak with no butter?
Gotcha. All right, now the fried chicken.
Okay, as far as for fried chicken's a little bit difficult from a wheat perspective.
Okay.
Typically, fried chicken is that it has a breaded batter, so then that contains wheat. Sometimes it's flour dusted, and then it's also a lot of times fried in the same oil as, let's say, onion rings. So it's a matter of asking the right question, and that would be, you know, for regular chicken or veal or fish, is your veal or fish, is it flour dusted? And if it is, then you'd ask, well, can I have it without flour dusting?
Gotcha.
As far as for fried chicken, you'd really need to have breaded items that are gluten-free.
Okay, because this is for a person who has either gluten allergies or wheat allergies.
Or that has celiac disease as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Soy.
Soy sauce,
Yeah.
that's a real unusual one. I had no idea until I was diagnosed with celiac. Soy sauce actually has wheat in it. You'd think that they had soy. Of course it does.
Yeah.
But it has wheat as well. So there's wheat-free soy sauce, but the majority of soy sauce out there has wheat in it.
Interesting. Bacon bits?
Bacon bits, there's some bacon bits that are out there that if it's artificial, some of them have wheat in them. So just depends on the brand.
Okay, and the chips?
Corn chips, that's another one. If you said, well, are your corn chips wheat-free? They'd say, well, of course, they're corn.
Sure.
However, if you're in a Mexican restaurant, are your corn chips fried in the same oil that chimichangas, which have wheat in them? So, again, it's the cross-contamination component.
Wow, that's fascinating that, I guess with a person with such a sensitivity that it, the cross-contamination really would matter if it was cooked in the same
form. And it depends on your level of reaction as well. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, so we did dairy, we did wheat and gluten, and now we're dealing with...
Peanuts and tree nuts.
Peanuts and tree nuts. Right. And so I don't see peanuts anywhere here, but I guess there's a facet of it. So what am I looking at right here?
Okay, right there, that's artificial mashed potato mix.
Okay.
So when you're in a restaurant, you wouldn't typically think of asking, do my mashed potatoes have peanuts in them? Because why would you ever have peanuts in mashed potatoes?
Sure.
However, there are some mashed potato mixes that are out there that do contain peanuts. And so the question would be, are your mashed potatoes real, or are they made with artificial mix?
I guess the key would be go real, go real.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
This is creme brulee.
Creme brulee, right. And creme brulee you'd think of as far as for milk. However, a lot of times creme brulee is made with almond extract. So you'd want to say, is your creme brulee made with almond extract? And if it is, and if you're allergic to nuts, or tree nuts specifically, then you wouldn't want to eat the creme brulee.
Interesting. Okay, really quickly, let's hit the oil and then the ice cream.
As far as for the oil, what a lot of people don't realize is that as far as for that one's peanut oil right there, sometimes fries are fried in peanut oil, and other times that there's vegetable oils that are blended with nut oil. So when you're in a restaurant, you want to find out what kind of vegetable oil do you actually use, and if it's blended with nuts. Or say, can you saute my vegetables in butter? Or can I have them steamed? So again, it's really going back to what type of oil is used.
Interesting. Very last one, ice cream.
Ice cream. As far as for ice cream, what you need to do is that you need to have the restaurant actually go and look at the label on the ice cream container and say, does that label say that it contains peanuts or tree nuts? And if it does, then obviously you wouldn't want to either eat it yourself or order it for your child. Wow,
this is extraordinarily informative. Thank you so much for being here, Kim. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
And the book is called Let's Eat Out, and it's a heavy book. It's available nationwide. And check this out. Applications for iPhones and iPods based on the book are also available, which is mad cool. So you can get on your iPod and actually get part of the book. She showed me this morning. All you have to do is just log on to CBN.com for more information. Very, very informative. Kim, thanks again for being here.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.